bacon. I've been doing the beef bacon butter and eggs for over 90 days now. I just uploaded that video today, so if you want to go check that out, it's available. I also made another video today about the supplements that I use on the carnivore diet. I just tried to make that really quick and simple. It's about a 6-minute long video. That's also uploading. It's going to be uploaded on Wednesday, I believe, approximately 1:15 Alaska time, but that'll be available later on this week. One thing I haven't been focusing on too much while doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs has been the bacon, mainly because I was out of town for a lot of the process when I was up in Nome, Alaska, and cooking bacon when you're on a remote job site is kind of difficult at times, so I didn't do a whole lot of that. I did have a relative make me some bacon. That was nice of her, but just having all the extra bacon grease and all the extra splatter and mess in an apartment just didn't seem like the right thing to do, so I just didn't worry about it too much. But what we got here today is Hill's Premium Meats. I believe this was purchased at Costco, right? Dear? Yeah.
Fred Meyer.
Fred Meyer.
Yep, I get those from Fred Meyer.
Yeah, it says made in Oregon. It doesn't have that bad of ingredients. Now, when you cook bacon, a lot of the sugars and extra whatever nonsense that's in the bacon just kind of goes away. So far, I haven't found a bacon that's totally wrecked the plan for me, even when it does have some sugar in it. Like this product here it's cured with water, salt, brown sugar, there's the sugar, sodium phosphate, sodium ether, blah, 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 blah. Don't know what that word is, more sugar, and spice extractives, sodium nitrate. I don't worry about nitrates. I don't worry about that. But yeah, when I cook bacon, it typically doesn't last long in the house because everybody here eats a lot of freaking bacon. Today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cooking this in a skillet. I got my cat over there going after my steak. But I'm going to be cooking this in my skillet. And the reason I'm cooking it in my skillet is I've done this in the past. It doesn't make nearly the mess that a lot of other ways of cooking bacon has done for me. I've tried it in the oven, I've tried it in the air fryer. Didn't care much for any of those ways. So I also tried doing it the Dr. Berg way, where you put it in a big giant pot. I wound up ruining that pot over time because I was addicted to bacon at that time. And since I've been on the carnivore diet, you know, I've eaten so many pounds of bacon in the process. But yeah, we're gonna get this out and get it ready to go. This time I am gonna be slicing the bacon in half because I want a little bit smaller pieces. And maybe it's going to fit in my skillet a little bit better. So this is the only cut I'm gonna do. It's just one cut right here. And then the rest of the process is just that simple. Just head on over to the skillet and watch me make a mess in my house, and we can hang out and talk and do whatever, because that's what we do here. Meanwhile, my cats. I have a +1 cat today, by the way. Hey there, Yoshi. Nice of you to drop in. Denise T saying, hey, how you doing? Big John here in Anchorage. Yeah, we're getting ready to make bacon over here. And we're just getting everything set up right now. It's kind of a slow process sometimes. But I need to get my skillet plugged in. And then we're going to be frying up some bacon here real quick. And while that's all happening, we can just chit-chat and say hello. Let's see. Only Elise says hello. Putty cat. You have a visiting cat. Well, actually, I don't know if you watched this week's video, but I had a cat outside screaming, and like right in the middle of the video, I was like, so I left part of that in there. It was kind of interesting. Brooklyn Land, hello, I will sub. Appreciate you there. Yeah, I'm seriously just doing the carnivore diet. I've been doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for over 90 days. I lost a considerable amount of weight in the last 90 days. I mean, we're talking like over 18 pounds in 90 days of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And that's not even being like super duper, like 100% strict that entire 90 days. I think that's important to mention, you know, especially for realistic expectations of somebody else trying to attempt a very long stretch of something strict. I did manage to get at least 30 days super strict, as much as I could. I did change up some of my meats. Some of my meats that I changed up weren't a huge deal. They were done with other meats that I've used in the past that work for weight loss. Reindeer sausage is one of them. It's one of my favorite alternative meats, and shrimp. That's something else I'd probably like to snack on some shrimp today. Let's see. I am new. None of it. We're all new. I mean, especially when it comes to learning how to lose weight with little to no exercise. I mean, I didn't imagine that I could figure it out, but I just had this weird epiphany a year and a half ago. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel, and I already had one created. It wasn't doing that great, so I was like, man, I'm gonna start. I'm already fat. I was morbidly obese, over 435 pounds. I'm like, what am I gonna do with myself? What am I gonna do with my life? I'm not very interesting. Otherwise, other people may debate that because they thought my shopping content was quite interesting, but it was hard content for me to create. It was hard for me to find the time to get out into the stores, and I was also bombarded with all of the overly processed foods that was in the stores. So that made my life really, really hard. So once I got out of the stores and I started focusing on my health, my weight loss, and then all of a sudden I made it a hobby. Losing weight can actually be a hobby, and it works for a lot of us. Making content about our weight loss works as well as part of the hobby, and it keeps us accountable. It keeps us coming back to just continuously find new creative ways to lose weight, learn how to explain things, and hopefully other people can figure this out as well, because I want everybody to be healthy and happy, even if they don't like me. I just want them to be healthy and happy in their own personal life. Let's see. My dad needs a ha ha ha, whatever that means. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see. But slay. Uh-huh. You retracted your message, Putty Cat. Where'd it go? I was just getting ready to read it. Let's see. Sir Bones Venture. Hello. I am the best, the only one, the great Sir Bones, skeleton gentleman, and I am a veteran of WW1 and WW2. I'm 100. I am from Italy, and I am no war hero. Well, that's okay too. But all right, we're getting our skillet already fired up. We're getting ready to put the bacon in there to get it to do its thing. And I think, oh yeah, YouTube fixed that for me. Yeah, YouTube. I like that. I like it when YouTube does stuff that like helps us out, because before I had to hit that button twice, and I was always hitting it once, thinking I had the camera flipped around, and it wasn't flipped around. So yeah, we're gonna take our big yummy slab of deliciousness over here, and we're gonna start getting this stuff going here. I don't know about you guys, but I save all the bacon fat, all the bacon grease that's left over after the process, and I use it for cooking. I like cooking with bacon grease, mainly because of the flavor, and it's super convenient, especially if you make a lot of bacon. And you cook a lot of eggs. I like my eggs cooked in bacon grease. All right, man. I haven't had, like actual bacon since I left Nome. I think was the last time I had bacon. I was up in Nome. That was the last time I've had bacon. So I'm kind of looking forward to snacking on this as we go here. So I got the skillet. It's turned up 100%. It's all the way turned up. And this is just how I make bacon, to try to sort of keep the entire kitchen from getting coated with crap. You guys know, you've made bacon before. I mean, this isn't rocket science by any means. The hardest part for me is simply keeping the cats out of my stuff, because it doesn't matter. I can put my meat up here inside this new handy dandy thing, because it's got a little door that drops down, and I can put my meat in there, and the cats will figure out how to get in there, because right now I got a steak up in there. I had my wife take out, and she took out hamburger meat. That is not a steak. Oh my goodness. Doggy, you're in the way. I don't know why.
Took out hamburger meat because I didn't want hamburger meat. Ugh. Come on, dog. You're in the way. Let's go. Scoot over. I need steak. There we go. So when I cut up my last steak, I was making, so I got 2 steaks in here. This package here has 2.5 pounds of steak. Normally what I do is I just set my steaks up in here somewhere and try to keep the cats out by just doing that. It doesn't always work, but these cats are carnivorous. They like to get into the bird parts because my wife has a lot of, she goes hunting a lot, so we got a lot of feathers and, you know, dead bird parts everywhere. We had some rabbit's feet that the cats were playing with not long ago. Just taking care of some odds and ends while I have a moment. And I also need to clean off the lenses here because we're gonna probably get the lenses all goofed up here in a minute with a little bit of bacon grease. Let's see, and I need to get a little bit better prepared. So we always keep these little things around. I don't know if you guys have any of these. Any cardboard egg carton works extremely well for when you make bacon. You use this, you just drain your bacon right on top of this. When you're done with this, toss it in the trash. It works. It's awesome. I've been doing it that way for a very long time. And also have some handy tongs hanging around. But so far so good. The bacon is looking awesome. It'll be getting ready before long for its first flip. And hopefully I can keep my cats out of that, because that makes it a pain in the butt. But, okay, let's head on over to my table. And this is also, by the way, where I do the majority of my filming anyways. So, you know, kind of get people a good idea. Let's see here. Eggs cooked in bacon grease is yummy, Buddy Cat says. Brooklyn says, how big is your house? Not very big at all. I think it's definitely under, I think it's under 900 square feet. Maybe smaller. I mean, this is a pretty small trailer home that I live in, and I prefer to live in trailer homes, mainly because you can just throw cash on them. You own it. You don't have to worry about anything except for lot rent and a couple other basic utility bills. So we own the trailer. We paid cash for it throughout the pandemic because we didn't want to rent. Renting was a little bit scary at that time because the prices were just going through the roof. Some people that were paying anywhere from $1,000 to $900, their rent went up to $1,600, and a lot of people wound up on the streets out here and homeless. There's a very large homeless camp not too far from here, and there's a park directly across the street, and it's got a big parking lot. And that camp is growing. That camp's been growing for the last 4 years. Go figure, the last 4 years. But anyways, it's been a problem. And it's not so much a problem that the people are just a problem. It's a problem that those people that are in that parking lot, because the parking lot fills up at night. And then they pull in there, they go to bed, and a lot of them are pretty darn good people. Went over there and talked to some of them, and they have jobs. So they go to work. You know, every single morning that parking lot clears out, like when the sun starts coming up. They go to work like normal people, and they just can't afford to live in an apartment because their jobs just don't make enough to cover it. It's pretty bad. I apologize for you there, Andrew. You're racist. That's unfortunate. Unfortunately, a lot of people are. They just don't realize it. It's just one of those things. I sell homeless people for money. Anyways, I think housing is expensive in Anchorage. Housing is pretty expensive everywhere right now. It doesn't matter where we go. So, I mean, yeah, I can look around other parts of the country, and it's still pretty expensive in other parts of the country and other people that I know. You're starving. All right. Let's see what else happened that I wasn't. Let's see. Sir Bones Ventre. Wow, what is this? Well, let's see. I'm just a big guy losing weight in Alaska. That's kind of what I do for a hobby. And yeah, it can be a hobby. And once it becomes a hobby, it's just a whole lot easier to do and maintain, because I'm 50 years old. I didn't think I'd be able to lose any weight at this age, or let alone lose weight in the ways that I've been doing it, you know, creatively, eating meats and fats. I did learn how to do fasting correctly, why fasting works. You know, the art of ketosis is one of the big things that helps. We're gonna flip this bacon over, because I think we're to that point now. I could let it go a little bit longer before flipping, but we're getting pretty close. And as the bacon shrinks up a little bit, I'll be adding some more in there, just to kind of keep the process going. If it would behave. Bacon behave. There we go. It's always a good idea to yell at your bacon. I'm going to scooch everything over. Make room for the newer bacon to come in. That's kind of how this works efficiently. Put some new bacon on this side. There we go. Very nice. Probably fit one in there too. I can scooch it in there. Scooch over. There we go. Now I got more bacon going. There we are. Very nice. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, water. I do this all the time. I always like get going on something and I forget that I get thirsty like halfway through the stream, because I talk a lot. I guess that's kind of what makes me interesting to some people, is that I just rarely shut up and people don't know what I'm going to say. Because I'm not one for the whole medical industry. I'm not a big fan of that. And it's not because the medical industry is like out to get us and take our money. The insurance companies are there for that. But it's that a lot of the information we've been given in our lives hasn't been the most reliable information that I've found out over the last year and a half. And I think that's important stuff to talk about once in a while, because, you know, my doctor's a really good doctor. He gives me really good advice when I ask personal questions or technical things, you know, about food, health, and nutrition. He's pretty on the ball. He's very familiar with the carnivore diet, other different types of diets. He's well-rounded in health and nutrition, which is nice. It's so nice. But when I told him I was doing the carnivore diet, he kind of rolled his eyes at first, because he was just like, yeah, whatever. Because I don't know how many times people have come in and out of that doctor's office, talked to that same man, said they were doing something, and they weren't doing that. And that's typically what most doctors see, is people, because you can look somebody in the eye that's talking to you and they can tell you they're doing something, you know, just like when most people go to the dentist and then they say they've been, you know, flossing their teeth. Well, as soon as the dentist opens their mouth, they can tell they haven't been flossing their teeth. It's a bunch of crap. So no different when a doctor looks at you and you tell them you're doing something, because when I first started telling them I was doing it, I didn't look metabolically healthy in any way whatsoever at that point. I was still incredibly morbidly obese. Now I'm down below 300 pounds. That was the threshold for me to become regular obese, which is, whoever would have thought that'd be a celebration type day, but it is. You know, becoming regular obese for morbidly obese is a great thing. Just seeing morbidly obese on your doctor's paperwork kind of screws with your brain a little bit, and I didn't like that. So I wanted to make some changes in my life, and that's why I became a lot healthier. Can you donate? I'm not sure what you want to donate. I mean, there's an option for super chats and memberships. I'm not sure what you're talking about donating. You slay. Don't stop talking. We love your talking. Okay. Your eyes look sore. Maybe. I'm extremely overworked, I feel like, lately. I'm about ready to talk to, because normally I work you know, 6 days a week. All through the summer, I work 7 days a week, you know, pretty much nonstop throughout the summer. I'm just getting to a point where I'm just burned out with work. I just don't want to continuously work every single Saturday for the rest of my life, even though there's work to do. So I'm the guy that will, you know, if there's something to do and it's going to make the company money, it's going to make me money, you know, extra overtime, stuff like that. You know, I'm typically the guy that'll run in there and grab that up. I don't mind, and I'll do it continuously. But, you know, since I spent all summer working 7 days a week for like a month and a half, I want to have some time in the winter to enjoy my family, enjoy my life, you know, focus a little bit more on my YouTube channel, focus a little bit more on my actual health, maybe have some time to exercise once in a while, get out and do stuff in the community. That'd be nice to do. So yeah, I might actually have that conversation sometime this week. Be like, hey, you know, I got to knock off working on Saturdays all the time because I got family, I got stuff backing up here at the house that I needed to get done. I got out of work early yesterday and started taking care of some of that stuff because there was, yeah, I got stuff going on my bathroom ceiling. It's a trailer home. So yeah, I had some issues going on. I had to take a cabinet down. We had some stuff that needed to leave the house for donation purposes. So I wanted to make sure to get that out. I'm in Anchorage, Alaska, Andrew. Elliot Whitehead. Why are you working so much? Well, I work in the like metal, not medical. I used to work in the medical industry, but not anymore. That was for a pharmaceutical company. I work in the environmental type company right now, which does a lot of metal recycling. We also recycle a whole bunch of other stuff. But there's just nonstop work in the industry, and it never slows down. Well, at least for me, since I started, I have not seen a slowdown. We're going to get some of these tidied up a little bit and figure out, okay, those aren't cooking near as fast. So we're going to scooch some of these around, see if we can get them closer to the middle. Get the middle ones over to the edge. Okay. There we go. Just reorganizing bacon. This is way funner than other stuff I could be doing. Okay. Oh, I love that sound. That's the sound of yummy, delicious bacon. Wow. Looking good so far. And just like that, I can add more. And I'm kind of happy with cutting the bacon in half like I did, because it is a whole lot easier to get more bacon in here. Now the other way I was doing it was just cooking the full length strips, and it was just, man, it got crowded in this pan really fast. And it's really not making a mess anywhere. There's like no bacon grease anywhere else splattering outside. There is a little bit, but nothing like if I were to do it in a pan. Some of this is almost ready to take off. There we go. Yeah, I can make more room for more bacon. Okay. So this is basically what I do, is I take this little thing here and I just take my bacon and plop it on there, wherever you want. And it'll just drain off nice and pretty. That one, I want to leave that one on there a little longer. It's got a piece of fat on the end that didn't really get cooked all the way. Okay. There you go. And in return, this is going to make more room for more bacon. Alright, so that's the hotter part. I'm going to scoop some of these around. Get some of the newer bacon up on the hotter part. That one can be flipped, that one can be flipped, moved over. Ta-da! Yeah, I think I'm making a bigger mess than this pan is making. Okay. That's not too bad. Get you guys out of the way. Hide my bacon up there from the cats, because cats love to get into my bacon. Now I can add more bacon. All right, just let that cook down a little bit longer. I like really crispy bacon too, like super crispy. I'm not sure if this stuff is, this isn't exactly super crispy. Man, that's good. Now I can kind of taste the brown sugar and the extra sugar that's added in there. Not too worried about that. What did I do? Weird. Ah, there we go. Shallow bell, making me hungry. I'm getting ready to cook a couple steaks and shrimp. Yeah, steaks and shrimp tonight. That's what we're gonna do. I'm in the mood. So when I go to Costco, I buy like 5 or 6. I think last time I bought 6 bags of frozen shrimp, 2-pound bags. The easiest thing to do is just buy 2-pound bags of frozen shrimp. It fits perfectly in one of those large pans. Boom, just dump it in, cook it up, drain the water off, throw some butter in, add your spices. Yeah, it's like instant deliciousness. I love it. Love it. Love shrimp. Oh, thank you, Elliot. I appreciate that. Let's see. Making me hungry, blah, blah, blah. Way to go. But yeah, I mean, ribeye steak. I mean, what's your favorite steak? I've been hearing a little bit about New York strips. I like a really nice fatty steak. Ribeye really fits the bill. I like the medallions inside the ribeye steak. I like the outer fat. There's a fat tip on the ribeye steak, so you got your main little medallion, and then on the end you got this really nice fat tip. And I like to cut that fat tip off. And I cut that up almost into like bacon slices, that little tip of that fat. And I use that fat in the pan to start the whole process of breaking down the fat, making it edible, making it super delicious. And it leaves all that yummy beef tallow in the pan, and then you can put your steak in there, season it up with salt. That's about the only seasoning I use on my steak is salt or garlic type salt made by Redmond's. And that makes an awesome steak. Just awesome. I mean, every single time. That's the only way I like to make it. Just like that. Let's see, my favorite steak with a bone, such as ribeye. The bone, yeah, I would agree. The bone does add flavor. I haven't really even thought about going out and getting T-bones. I used to have a problem with, like, I think it was with pork chops mainly. You know how pork chops, they got a weird little bone. It kind of like wraps around, and sometimes it gets up in the meat, and it's just weird to try to cut out because I don't like wasting the meat if I don't have to. I think more of that bacon's ready to come out. I'm going to give it a little bit longer because I know if I go over there right now, it's not going to be ready enough. But I like really, really crispy bacon. And my son likes it kind of like right in the middle. My kids like it a little bit crispy, but not overly crispy. So I got to kind of make different types of bacon at times, especially when I'm cooking them all up at the same time. But how are you guys on like iodine? What do you think about iodine? I've been doing a little bit of research on iodine supplements. I have started taking 10 drops a day in my drink in the morning. I can either add it into my coffee, cat butt. I can either add it into my coffee, or I can put 10 drops into my electrolyte mix that I take with me to work for the day. Either way, I can get the iodine simply and easily. But I hear that iodine works really well for the thyroid glands. You know, a lot of people, they overfixate on things like thyroid as their, oh no, it's the problem for everything. Thyroid is very important, but a lot of people, there's a lot of people out there that think they have a thyroid issue, but they really don't. I mean, it's, for one, you got to get the testing done to find out if you have thyroid issues by a real doctor that knows what they're doing. That's hard to find. That's harder to find than most people think. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with the thyroid. Iodine is supposed to help with that. Now, there are some negative effects for some people of taking iodine. Yeah, like diarrhea is one of them. I haven't had any negative effects so far, so I'm going to continue this. I'm only on like day 3 of taking iodine supplements to see what happens. And then at some point I will, you know, talk about it. Let's see, Shelly says she takes 3 drops in her coffee. And then, but yeah, I mean, so the problem is there's an actual restriction on the percentage of iodine they can ship out. So Amazon, they can only ship out 2% iodine. Now, if you go to J. Crow's website, you can get 5% iodine. It's the same price, just about either way. So you get 2 bottles from Amazon, you know, for 25, 30 bucks, whatever it is on my affiliate link. I don't know what it is. I think it's cheaper if you go through my affiliate link than what I actually paid for the product. So, I mean, there's a better deal there. And now if I go to, for the 5%, right through the manufacturer, J. Crow themselves, I can get the 5%, but it's only 1 bottle, one same size bottle for that price. So you can get 2 or you can get 1. Either way, it's about the same price. That it's whatever, 1/2 dozen in the other. I just chose to buy mine from Amazon because it was just that much easier to get it shipped to my house. Like I said, I'm just experimenting with it right now to see if I like it or see if it feels like it does anything for me. So far, 3 days in with it, I don't really know. Some people say iodine gives them an energy boost too. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that. I take collagen protein. I've been thinking about looking into collagen. I have not bought anything like that yet. Collagen is super helpful for joints, ligaments, and stuff like that. I think peppers stock up. I think preppers stock up on iodine for radiation resistance. Yeah, I don't, whatever. So, you know, if you're eating the carnivore diet anyways, you already kind of resist it in a lot of ways. For one, you're taking out all the crap from your diet that would really make a problem with radiation, like excess radiation. So you're already doing yourself a favor by removing all that, you know, seed oils and all the extra contaminants of a, you know, traditional American diet. I mean, it's like magic. It's like, duh, you know, you start eating better food and all of a sudden better things start happening. I can't see going back the other way. You know, going back to eating box foods, eating a lot of bagged foods. Now, I don't see anything wrong with people that, you know, they do the carnivore diet to some extreme for a while, and then they go back and forth a little bit. But I don't like it when they start complaining about, like, oh, this is so hard and this is confusing. It's like, well, you're doing it to yourself, guys. You know, at times, you know, the carnivore diet is really cut and dry, super simple. But a lot of people overcomplicate their diets. That's a problem. So hold on, I gotta focus on this real quick. So this is what we got going on here. We don't have a whole lot done yet, in my opinion. So there we go, get some more in the pan. Yes, I'm the guy that sticks my finger in the hot baking grease. Don't mind. Yeah, well, I can probably take those pieces out. They look pretty much done. Pretty much crispy enough for me too. There you go. These pieces over here. But now the nice thing about these little griddles like this is they don't heat evenly, which is kind of handy for what I'm doing here. Because that way, when I incorporate other pieces or new pieces, I can simply just move stuff around a little bit. And I can keep like a little workflow going on as I got the bacon like moving around. So it doesn't have to sit in the same spot all the time. So I can move these down here because they're already mostly cooked. This is the hotter part of the skillet. And that way I can put, you know, some of the newer pieces up here. Get them going a little bit better. Yeah, silly. Silly how that works. Yeah, some of these pieces are really thick and other parts are really thin. I'm not sure how they have their cutter set up at this place because these slices are inconsistent. Alright, that's good enough. Okay, see if I can get a crispier chunk here. Chunk! You guys turned around. I could just sit there and stare into the world of bacon. Okay. That's good. I also take liposomal cyanide. I don't know what that is. It's an antioxidant and detoxifier. So you got collagen that goes into your coffee? Yeah, I have no problem eating baby pig. You know, I'm Alaskan native. My family hunts and fishes. They're really good at killing stuff. I have an overabundance of dead birds, wild dead birds in the house. Yeah, I even got the plate to prove it. Yeah, this is a whoa. Hold on here. I gotta get over here. This isn't gonna work like that. So I think I got a dead ermine in the freezer too. But yeah, this is what my wife does. She goes out and gets spruce grouse, spruce hen, whatever you want to call them, grouse. She makes these nice little fans. You got them like all over the house, decoration. This is rabbit parts, I believe. Now, let me see if I can find the ermine. It was a creepy little thing when I opened the door one day. Is it still in here? Oh yeah. Ah, kind of hugging onto that. There we go. There we go. So I mean, you come home and you're like looking in the freezer, and this is what you find in the freezer when you're looking for a steak, and you're like, I don't know about that. That one of those things. I still don't know. We're not going to eat that. There's nothing on it. It's a little tiny weasel. Little weasel. So forever grateful. Y'all doing on Thanksgiving? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm going to my sister-in-law's house, and I'm going to be a lot more relaxed this time around because I was doing the carnivore diet last year, and I stayed really good. Really good. I stayed away from the desserts. I left early. I just removed myself from the situation before the desserts came out. I'm not worried about it this year. I also figure since I have done enough on scale, you know, carnivore diet type stuff, like serious carnivore diet type stuff, and then done a little bit of off carnivore diet type stuff, I have figured out a pretty good average on what off scale type stuff I can eat safely without having problems. So I think this year's going to be a whole lot more fun for me. I'm going to be a lot less stressed out because last year I was just full of anxiety. I was super anxious about the whole day. I was like, man, I'm going to have a hard time. It's going to be bad. Everything's going to be bad. I'm going to gain 20 pounds. Well, that didn't happen. So I can be a little bit more relaxed this year with what I eat. I know how much I can take in as far as off-scale type stuff and not do any damage. So the fun part is, it's like stick around and find out. I'm either going to do good or I'm going to do bad, right? The one thing is true is my head hasn't gotten any bigger throughout this process. Maybe my arrogance has gotten bigger. My wife says I'm very arrogant, and that is true. That is true. I'm not going to argue with her with that. Well, technically I've been doing a 90% carnivore type diet anyways. That's pretty much what got me started on trying to do more strict carnivore type diet. I like the 90-10 eating principle, which is 90% meats and fats, 10% I love my life. And I think a lot of people can understand that. This is where it just kind of works for them. You know, because if you tell them like, oh, you're going to cut out everything in your life and you're only going to eat, you know, hamburger meat and pork and birds and whatnot, just meats and fats, and you're going to just chomp on butter, they're going to look at you like you got 12 heads. But if you come at them like, hey, you know, you can get a lot of the benefits of the carnivore diet, and you just start out easy. You know, the 70-30 carnivore diet works pretty good. 80-20 works a little bit better. 90-10 does work rather amazing. Now, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs is strict as you can be for 30 days. I'm going to stand behind that one because that's the one I just got done doing. And the reason I'm going to stand behind it is because it removed all the crap. It removed everything for a period of time. And then I could slowly start adding the crap, whatever the crap may be. And the crap doesn't even have to be like unhealthy type stuff. It could be something like using garlic powder, for instance, or using black pepper, adding coffee, stuff like that. You know, simple things. Or maybe trying some celery again for the first time in a long time. You know, because once you do something for 30 days, you kind of remove a lot of the potential bad side effects most foods can give us. This is where the carnivore diet is so important and why it works so well for so many of us. Because we remove so much and then we started adding stuff back in. We found out that eating certain things makes us feel like crap. And we're just like, yeah, I don't want to feel like crap anymore. So that's kind of how it works. Maybe a glass of wine at Thanksgiving dinner. I don't drink wine. I stopped drinking alcohol a while ago. Not because I was an alcoholic, but because I've seen what it's done to me, my family, in the past. When I was with my ex-wife, we made a lot of bad choices together. It was just, yeah, I just don't drink much anymore. It's one of those things that I don't care about either. It's like alcohol is just one of the last things on my radar. Yes. Look at you guys. Oh yeah, happy little bacon turds. I think my vegan followers hate Bacon Day. You know, whenever I cook bacon, they're just sitting there wanting to say something, but they don't. They just sit there quietly. And I do have some vegan followers, you know, because they're curious, you know, like, how am I not dead? Or some of them are probably got to that point of being on the vegan diet where they're like, my doctor says I am like metabolically all screwed up because I haven't been eating meats. And this is something that happens to people when they do a vegan or vegetarian diet, is they get to a certain point where their body just says, yeah, you're going to have to start doing something differently because we're going to die if you don't. So that's kind of a problem. You know, death is definitely a problem. It's a side effect of eating the wrong stuff for too long. All right. Scooch, scooch, scooch. We're scooching everything. Scooch over. This is almost like playing Tetris. Just with bacon, and it's way more delicious. Ta-da. Man. We're getting close. This is like, so I got like only about a quarter of this package left. I can make more room. I can always make more room for more bacon. Yes. There we go. Okay. Well, that's all I got left. I mean, that was the whole however many pounds of bacon that was. And it's so sad. You cook bacon and it doesn't turn into much. Not a whole lot there. Yep. The problem is when I'm done, I'm not going to have a lot of bacon to show for it because I usually wind up eating most of it while I'm cooking it. Because you see a perfect piece and you're like, oh, I got to eat that right now. That's kind of how it works. While you do strict for 90 days, tomorrow will be my 130th day. Very quickly. Yeah, that's very true, Shell Bell. You know, take everything out, start putting stuff back in. I don't care if it's like, for me, it was like traditional pizza. I got to the point now, I know exactly how much traditional type pizza, like if I were to go to Papa John's. If I were to order something from Papa John's, I can handle exactly 3 slices of pizza. Anything over that, I feel like crap. I feel like trash. But that's just traditional whatever type pizza that comes from Papa John's. And I choose Papa John's pizza. I say it a lot. Because I used to work there. And when I worked there, you know, I was curious about a lot of things. It doesn't matter where I work. I'm always curious, wanting to learn more. But when I was at Papa John's, I was researching, like, okay, where are we getting our vegetables from? Where's the dough come from? What are they putting in the dough? What's in the sauce? Where's the sauce come from? You know, the pepperoncinis and stuff like that. All kinds of stuff. You know, which one of these ingredients is the worst ingredient? Yeah, I'm that kind of weirdo. But overall, Papa John's uses some really, really good ingredients in 90% of their products. There are some stuff out there, like their pan pizzas, for instance, not so great for you. Their thin crust, not so great for you. But their regular hand-tossed crust is probably the better of the option out of everything they have. So I will accept that. Now, we're not talking about with all this crazy stuff they want to do with the crust nowadays and adding all that stuff, and then they got all kinds of goofy desserts which are really, really bad for you. But they're only bad for you if you eat too much of it. And that's the problem with a lot of these desserts that these places have, is we eat a lot of whatever it is half the time. And, you know, that's how a lot of us got to be over 400 pounds, 500 pounds. You know, some people I've met along this journey have been up in the 700 pound range, and thankfully they're coming back down. But there's got to be a price to pay, you know, because I'm going to have some excess skin going on. It's already to the point where it's starting to make me look in the mirror and go, it doesn't make me happy to see that. I'm glad I'm losing weight. But that's part of being morbidly obese, is trying to, you know, deal with those situations of excess skin. All my kids work for Papa's. Right on. 2 GMs and 1 manager. Papa John's is not a bad place to work. I order a meat bowl. It is my pizza without the dough. That doesn't sound bad. That's not too bad at all. Now, for a while there, I was getting the pizza and I was just scraping the toppings off. And one thing I found out, it's a psychological thing. And so the pizza toppings is what makes you feel like you actually, if you scrape the pizza toppings off, doesn't matter if it's just cheese or if it's a supreme pizza, you scrape the toppings off, you eat just the toppings of 1 slice of pizza. And then once you ate that, you still feel like you ate an entire slice of pizza, even with the bread. Because it's the pizza toppings that give you this sensation of eating pizza, not the bread. And I thought that was really interesting. So I could eat like 3 or 4 slices of pizza if I just pulled all the toppings off and ate that. But as soon as I was done with that, I felt like I ate 3 or 4 slices of pizza. The bread, if you ate the bread, it feels like it fills zero void, just the bread alone. It doesn't fill you up at all, so it doesn't make you feel fuller. The pizza toppings do. It's really weird how that works. Next load is for you. Right on there, Heartless. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, they have a bowl pizza, no crust. That doesn't sound too bad. Now, I did order some wings not too long ago. And Papa John's wings usually are pretty good. Now, the last time I got them, they were like these super little bitty chicken wings. I was like, what is... Like, let's not do that again. Domino's had some pretty good wings. But I don't know if there's a problem with the chicken wing industry or whatever. We're running out of little chicken wingies. But they seem to be getting really, really small in size. I'm not spending that much money on chicken wings and getting these little tiny dinky things like this big. It's like there's no meat on them in the first place. Instead, they got more skin and bones than they have meat. So it's just like, huh. I don't even know what age I lost my hair. I started shaving my head a while ago. I mean, my receding hairline started pretty quick. I am happier bald than cutting it completely off, because right now if I let it grow, it'll grow like right here, back, and it looks absolutely ridiculous. It drives me nuts. So I just let my wife shave it all off. I'm like, please, can you cut my hair? I'm starting to look like a hobo. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it feels. Let's see. I've got a good oven, so I like to make my own wings. I do like to make my own wings too, except for the price of wings is rather expensive up here. I did get a great deal at one point at Costco. I got like 40 pounds at 89 cents a pound. That was like a one-time thing. If I knew that the price was like supposed to be like $2.89 a pound, I would have bought a lot more. But we did. We bought quite a few. We bought a few boxes of that. And each box has like some crazy amount of pounds of chicken wings in there. We had chicken wings for like hanging around here for like 3 months. And it was so much better cooked than your own. I made some in the air fryer. I made some in the oven. Yeah, it was good. But we don't have the best oven in the world. I don't even have the best cooktop. I feel lucky that my oven even makes a flame half the time. I was thinking about replacing this old thing and upgrading it with something a little bit better, because it's pretty tired. This is what came in the place when I bought the place, and I'm sure it's been the oven in here has been replaced several times. I had to make room for this fridge. I had to take out, there was a cabinet up here. I had to take it out. And I actually had to move this whole thing over a little bit just to make sure this fridge fits. And it's a really tight fit up against the doorway over there. But time to scooch some more bacon around and get things going again. Let's see. Somebody said something. Nothing better than a good shower after some wings. But I don't trust my showers all too much. Hi, Carnivore friend. Hey there, JG. How are you doing? It's good to see you. It's nice to hear from you guys. You know, that's why I appreciate my weekend live streams if I can get them in. Last weekend, I did not do anything. I was in a funk. And I wasn't in a very happy funk either, and the funk was self-induced because of some things I did. And I know better. I know better now not to do those things anymore, so I don't feel like a piece of crap on the weekends when I need to be busy, you know, either creating a video or doing something. I didn't want to do anything with family. I didn't want to do anything. I was in a bad mental state, and it was all my doing because I ate some crappy food, and I did it to myself. Wow, I'm making all kinds of room on the pan right now. Look at this. Wow. Yeah, buddy. Bacon everywhere. So much bacon. I don't care. I love bacon. I love it so much. I don't even care if it makes a mess. Well, I do care if it makes a mess because I got to clean it up. Oh, listen to that. That was a good one. trying to move these off. Come on there. Step out. There we go. Ba-boom, ba-boom. It's almost time to start putting some of this bacon in a Tupperware. I just made a whole bunch of room. You guys see that? That was awesome. Look you going. Come on, you little happy pig. Ouch! You got me. Alright. We're getting closer to having it all on there. Alright, you get out of the way. You flip. You flip. You flip. That'll help me make enough room for more. Almost. That's what I got left. We're getting so close. Ow! I did that to myself. This is all my fault. Everything is my fault. I think my wife's sending me messages, and she knows I'm doing a live stream. All right, let's wipe up a little bit of this and that. Almost got most of it all done. Yeah, here I go again. I'm dipping into the bacon. Oh, good. I love this stuff. Yeah, bacon is awesome. I save all the lard. Yeah. I don't have any. Do I have any paper towel in the house? Let's go look. I don't know if I have any paper towel left. Oh, I went to Office Depot today. I bought some of this. You know, because I got to clean my computer. Compressed air. This is like over $10 a can now. You know, looking at it, I'm telling the kid, I was like, you know, that stuff's more expensive than propane. It's crazy. For a little tiny can of compressed air. Yep. Whew. I'm in my bathroom. And I'm looking for paper towels. I spot some. But that's a good idea. I'm going to try what you're talking about. So you said you strain it into a paper towel. And that works for you. Okay. I'm going to try that today. A lot going on in that room. Okay. Hi, daughter. Hey, look at this. Look what I found. There's a cat. That one is like one of my favorite cats. Besides Gray Bear. Where's the other cat? Where's the new cat?
Under the couch.
What's it doing under there? So, the crazy cat, apparently it's my next door neighbor's cat. She's out of town. She's in Soldotna. But I went over and talked to the neighbor that's staying there, and I didn't want to just drop it on him because he's not responsible for the cat. So I was like, well, it can stay in our house until she comes back from Soldotna, and then we can exchange the cat at that point. But that was the cat that was sitting out here on my porch screaming while I was trying to do my morning video, and it was really distracting. And after a while, my wife got up, I told her about it, and then she went outside and somehow got a hold of it and brought it in the house. That was a good deal. So now we have 4 cats plus 1. I don't need any more cats in my life. And I was like, we're not keeping that one. Thankfully, it's the neighbor's cat. I should probably wind up keeping it somehow. I don't want another cat. You know how hard it is to clean a litter box? Well, actually, I don't do it. It's somebody. My wife usually does, or my son does. But you got a litter box with 4 cats. All right, explain this. How do you use the paper towel? JG, using a paper towel to strain it through into a mason jar. Okay, I'm gonna be using a mason jar. But do you like put a hole in the paper towel? I don't know. You disappeared. You're probably gone. I don't know. It's okay. Are you putting it like a strainer or something, or using just like a funnel and a paper towel? I don't know. I'm curious about these things because I'll try something new. But I don't care. You know, my bacon grease can have like black little bits in it. That doesn't bother me. Because it cooks up nice. It makes the eggs taste, you know, it gives the eggs that nice bacony flavor. Yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. All right, let's do something different here. Yep. All right, we're getting ready to take some bacon out. Seems the paper towel would absorb too much of the grease. That's kind of my thought process on that too, Pretty Cat, but I am not questioning that. I'm trying to understand this person's process just a little bit better. I have no problem trying new things. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, then oh well, I'll do something different. Not a problem. You know, this is kind of how I got good at weight loss too, is that I just started trying new things. And it just worked. Now, not everything I've tried weight loss related in this weight loss journey has worked for me. So that's why I tried different things. So far, the carnivore diet has been the simplest, easiest thing I have ever done in my entire life to get healthier and lose weight. That's kind of why I do it. You know, why overcomplicate your life with a bunch of nonsense and stuff that I don't enjoy doing in the first place? So yeah, carnivore diet works great for that. You know, it kind of bridges the gap. I don't have to worry about a lot of things when I'm doing the carnivore diet. For one, I love bacon. 2, I love steaks. You know, 3, I love fats. I love eggs. Absolutely love eggs. One of my favorite things to eat is eggs. So yeah. I like to eat chicken. I like turkey. I don't particularly like to eat too much pork. You know, except for, I know I'm making bacon. That doesn't sound right. But my point is that I don't like to eat like pork chops or lamb chops. I haven't tried pork belly yet, which is similar to bacon. It's just not cured. And it's really affordable. Pork belly is really affordable. You just cut it up at home. You can cook it up similar to bacon. The only difference is it doesn't have the curing process to make bacon. That's all. That's all. Same meat, just ham. Now BLT. Now I want a BLT without the tomato. I don't know. One slice of tomato is not going to wreck your plan. Although, if I had a BLT, that one little innocent piece of lettuce, that will trigger me to want to go into the pantry and just start munching on the kids' Halloween candy. One little piece of lettuce. Not sure why. I'm not the only one. There's many other people out there, just like me, that have had a problem with lettuce. Absolutely love eggs too. Yes, eggs are amazing. Keep it real. That's a cool handle you got there. Keep it real. JG says, I despise turkey. JG, how do you do this drain thing? Let's see. How tall are you? I'm about 6'2", 6'3". Depends on the weather and humidity. If I make a turkey this year, we're flipping that sucker over. We're putting the breast down. We're gonna stuff that skin with a bunch of butter. This is if I make the turkey. I don't need. I've heard it cooks it just amazing. Or else the breast meat gets way too yuck. It's too dry. I don't like dry breast meat on a turkey. Too much lettuce can lead to diarrhea too. I've had a lot of problems with vegetables, guys. I used to be a spinach holic. I used to eat a lot of spinach. Raw spinach, specifically, gave me a lot of problems. Kale. I used to make those green drinks with raw kale. I'd put it in a little bullet blender, shove as much kale in there and zip it, and then, you know, I'd add other stuff, you know, to make a nice little green drink, and I thought I was doing myself a favor. The only thing I was doing was damaging my liver, my kidneys, and yeah, a whole lot of other problems. I had such horrible upper digestive issues. My upper part of my stomach was always just stuck out there like a pregnant person. And that was when I was eating vegetables all the time. And I had no idea that it was the vegetables that was actually making that problem a really big problem. And then I was always flatulent, constantly farting all day long. So for a while there, I was doing this thing. It was called the fighter's diet. This is years ago, before I started like a weight loss journey. I was just doing it to lean down a little bit. It was just chicken, butter, and broccoli. And I was eating that 2 to 3 times a day. I was eating that 2 to 3 times a day. It was working really well for cutting and making better definition of my muscle tone that I had going at the time. I used to have a pretty average, better than average physique. Now it's not looking so hot. It's kind of like saggy, is what it is. I'm not doing push-ups, so I could kind of like help it out if I started doing exercises. Thank you there, Jason. Yeah, if you guys want to give the stream a like, you just click the little 3 buttons up in the top corner there. It'll bring it to a screen. And I wish YouTube would fix that so you wouldn't have to do that part, because that's annoying on these live streams, that you would have to click into like almost a different menu. But there are maybe some other options in there for you if you want to look at those. Dad bods are hot. Some people say that. I mean, my wife thinks so I'm okay with that. She's been a better than average wife. I've just been happy this entire time we've been married. And of course we fight. We have our issues, but that's anybody on the planet that's going to cohabitate, you know, an area. Because she likes to go hunting and fishing. I like to go trucking. That's my thing. If I want to go do something, it's like either trucking related or it's work related. I need to go get more clothes for work. I need to get more work boots for work, or I need to get more safety gear for work. It's trucking related. Or if I have something that I might need that makes my trucking life easier, yeah, I'll go out and I'll go shopping for that. But she likes to go hunting, fishing, and doing all kinds of fun stuff too. But her fun stuff is polar opposite of what I like to do. So while she does that, I do work stuff, because that's kind of my passion, is work and losing weight. Now, you know, that I figured it out, then I talk about it. Kind of what we do. Dad bods are just more comfortable and cuddly than stiff ripped abs. You know, I can agree with that. I can agree with women the same way. Not that I'm cuddling dad bods. What I'm talking about is women that are like super, you know, toned and defined and stuff. I used to find that intimate relationships with those type of women was painful. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't fun. I mean, yeah, sure, she was like chiseled and super hot, but when it came time to like doing the fun stuff, it was like, ow, could you please stop now? That's really hurting me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking it might be the same on the other aspect for the women too. What is that? Maybe I'm just seeing a reflection of something on the screen. It was looking really annoying. Little white spot. It's like sleeping with a statue. Okay, I can relate there. I know what that means. I appreciate my wife's squishiness. I do. I like squishy. I don't like rolling over the edges, but I like squishy. Squishy is good. We're just flipping this bacon. Flipping it over. I don't have to add any more. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this while this is finishing. I'm in the mood for some reindeer sausage too, because reindeer sausage is amazing to snack on. I don't know if you guys have ever had reindeer sausage in your life, but it's so good. And Alaska reindeer sausage that I buy here at the Costco. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. So what we're going to do is move some stuff around, get you guys spun around. We're going to cut up some reindeer sausage. And once this bacon is done, or mostly done, we're going to just add it right into the bacon grease, because that's my kind of I don't care. That's just bacon fat. I'm not worried about that. Okay. Get you up and out of the way. We're going to get some of this cut up and ready. Alaska reindeer sausage is so good. I don't know why the color's odd. I'm not used to it being so light, but I'm not going to care about it. I kind of like cutting it at a diagonal and kind of thin. Okay, that one's getting a little weird. We're going to save that one for a second. I cut that at a little bit different angle here real soon. I'm still not sure why this is so pale compared to what I normally get. But this is going to be cooked in the bacon fat here. And it's going to add extra snacking ability. And we're going to see how this tastes once it's all said and done. So now that's all cooked up. Get the extras. Now I buy this stuff in a really large package, so that's why I put it in a Ziploc bag. Because I can't possibly eat it all at the same time. Now Alaska reindeer sausage is amazing if you cut it like in half and cook it on a barbecue grill. It sears up really, really nicely. So, there's my dog. My dog. I eat a lot of eggs, that's why I have an overabundance of those. I got a rotisserie chicken that nobody even touched. What in the world? There's more steak up there. Huh. And I got steak over there thawing out. That's okay. I need to get some of this put away in a Tupperware. And I have a special bacon Tupperware that I like to use. Oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Where are we going? We're gonna go over here. Then we're gonna like grab our bacon. Yeah. Can you tell I'm excited? I love this stuff. I gotta like, oh, this bacon, gotta come over here. And we're going to sit down and hang out. That way I can see what the heck you guys are saying, because I do. I care. This is why I like doing live streams, is because I get to talk to you guys. So those of you that are sitting there and want to say something, go ahead and say something as long as it's not spam. Not a big fan of the spam. But that's why I have admins. Admins are super helpful at removing the spam. You love kielbasa? I do like some decent kielbasa. Let's see, we cooking that radioactive chicken? No, that radioactive chicken can sit in there. Once in a while, I'll get into one of those radioactive birds. But yeah, so this is my collection of bacon pieces. You see the problem here? It's like I see certain pieces and I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to save that one. That one's going to be my snack. And then that one's going to be my snack. And I do this a lot. But yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good on the average of having some bacon that's going to be edible when this is all done. Because normally I eat a lot more of this bacon before this point. Yes. That one was a good piece too. Man. I don't know. Am I the only one that does that? It's like, oh yeah, I gotta save that piece. Wow. Crunchy, overcooked, slightly overcooked. No, my fridge is not well organized. My fridge is like chaotic disaster going on in there. There's a lot of food in there that should probably go out to the dog. I can't remember what else is in it. There's some stew in there that's been in there for too long. Now my wife made a, I think it was a beef stew, but she made it like carnivore type friendly. There wasn't a lot of potatoes or anything like that in there. It was just like stew meat. And it was really tough stew meat too. It didn't come out well. But I had some of it. Unfortunately, it just didn't have enough fat content for me to really enjoy it. So, not a lot got ate. But, yeah, that's what happens when you buy random cuts of meat that are just, say, stew meat on them. You got to be careful. Gary. Let's see. Hello, John. Had 4 beef burgers with a bit of cheddar and 8 eggs tonight. Ooh, nice. For supper, love carnivore way of life. That sounds pretty good. Gary, have you tried white cheeses yet? And see if they actually help, because I'm under the opinion, just from my own experience, that if I focus on the white cheeses, I have a lot less of a weight loss stall. Because cheddar cheese, for some reason, can really just go whop. Nope, you're not losing weight. You ate cheddar cheese. I don't know why that is. Putty Cat's waving hi at you, Gary. I'm going to keep it real. I like crispy too. Yeah, crispy's really good. Patricia says, I hate to admit this, but never cooked and stored bacon. Do you just reheat in the microwave? You know what I like to do best with this? Okay, so if I want to add it into a meal later on, I simply just take it and put it in the pan that I just cooked some eggs in. Or sometimes I might put it in the pan before I make the eggs, just heat it up a little bit. It'll soften it up a little bit. And it'll also let some of that grease transpire to the pan, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't typically put it in the microwave. Yeah, unless you want a little rubbery. Okay. Man, oh man. We need to cook more bacon together. This is a great time. I love making bacon. This is almost done. Almost. I am so close to adding those reindeer sausage into the bacon fat to see what happens. Because I'm curious. I can start one now. I'm going to get you going. I can start a few now. Get you guys in there. We're going to see how that tastes here in a little bit. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Oh yeah, these are just about ready to come out already. Come on, you guys. Get out of the pool. There we go. Oh yeah, they get a little bit of hot bacon grease on top of those. What a great idea. Almost like I planned this, and I don't plan anything, by the way. So if there's a way to screw something up when I'm cooking in the kitchen, it's because I don't plan a thing. I come up with an idea sometimes, and I just try it. And sometimes I do it on a live stream, sometimes I do a video, but I try not to waste footage, even if it's crap, then that way I just share it anyways. That way people know, like, hey, don't do this. This is a bad idea. Oh yeah, that only took a little bit. Get that a nice color. Yeah, look at that. That's not a bad idea. Wow. What a deal. Okay. This isn't a bad idea, I don't think. Let's see. It's giving it a weird little elf curl. Let me make sure you guys can see what the heck I'm... Yeah, you can see. It gives it a weird little curl. I'm not against that, but it's different. Okay. I gotta take those out. That didn't take long for those to like do its thing. We're gonna let those chill out for a second. We're gonna try those in a little bit. So here we go. We're gonna get the rest of these dumped. Alaska reindeer sausage in bacon grease. Now the Alaska reindeer sausage has a lot of fat. You see the little white specks in there? So if you're just cooking it in a pan, it releases a lot of fat in the pan. And it makes it really easy to cook eggs after that, if you have a pan that's hard to cook eggs in. I really need to stop sticking my entire finger like in the grease. It's not a very good idea. This isn't going to take long. That stuff cooks really, really fast. Okay. I'll try it first. That's a weird little piece, huh? Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. That. Why haven't I been doing that for a long time? Oh my goodness, that tastes like it should kill me. That tastes like junk food. And it's not. It's not junk food. That's like, oh my goodness, healthy food. Holy moly, wow. You guys are experiencing like history in the making here. This is good. And flip. And flip. And this is going to be like cooked really fast. It won't take long. For one, the bacon grease is already hot. Hey, get back there. Nobody told you could run off. Okay, these are going to make amazing little snacks, which aren't going to last long. Boom. Okay, that was a good idea. That right there. Holy moly. If I could share this with you guys, you would like understand what I'm talking about here. So all the spices, the smokiness, fried up in bacon grease. How do I explain that? Man, that is so good. Really, really good, by the way. Extra old white cheddar is what I use. Mozzarella sometimes. Okay, yeah, white cheese. I don't know what it is. Why is it the white cheese seems to work? I can't walk away from this. If I do, it's just going to burn it. These are already done. Yeah, I got to take these out. We're done. I can unplug you. And you guys are done. That is amazing. I have made some really, really interesting things, but so far this is like the best interesting thing that I have just randomly done while I was online. Tastes so good. I didn't add anything to it, just threw it in the bacon grease and like wished that something magical would happen, and yeah, buddy, that is magical flavor there. Yum. Eat. Yummy yum. Wow. This is a good time. I love this stuff. Yeah. Meat. So yeah, if you're new to the carnivore diet or even thinking about the carnivore diet and haven't tried it yet, I would totally recommend you just like incorporate different meats. Don't just eat one thing. You'll get burned out on, like, if it's just hamburger meat. You'll get burned out on it. I did. I was burnt out on hamburger meat. So I was mixing in like bacon, and the only way I could make it somewhat interesting to my palate was eggs. Now even steak, I can get kind of bored with steak too, so I add eggs. I add steak. I love the reindeer sausage complexity. It just makes everything so much more fun because there's different flavors that are going on there. One, you got the ribeye steak, you got the fat from the ribeye steak. I overly salt it, and I found out that part of my leg cramping issue was I wasn't putting enough salt on my meats. Sounds weird. I mean, because we come from a long line of don't have salt, don't have sodium. That's what they taught us for so many years. No salt, no sodium. Lower your intake. Blah 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 blah. Oh, they were wrong. Because I eat way more salt now than I did before. I mean, way more salt. I salt everything now. But then again, on the flip side, so this is a debatable topic as well. A lot of that food that I was eating, the overly processed food, the garbage stuff, the stuff that said it contained like 360 grams of sodium or whatever, some of it had 600, 700 grams of sodium. That could have just been the difference right there. It could have been, for one, the wrong type of sodium, because there are different types. And also it could have been, I was getting too much of the wrong type of sodium through the overly processed foods, because the people that make these foods for us, they make really, really inexpensive product type foods. What was that? I heard a noise back here. I thought it was a cat, and I was worried about a cat getting in the bacon grease, the hot bacon grease. I'm making you hungry. It's almost midnight there. I can't help it. But check this out. This is like magic. What's going on here? So, reindeer sausage apparently likes bacon grease. That's this little piece. Look at this. This is one of the little end pieces. And the end pieces are the ones that are my least favorite ones to cook because, they're end pieces and they're a pain. But this made like this cute little curl. And I have this little tiny end here, that little crunchy piece right there. And when you put it in your mouth, it's like an explosion of wow. That's almost erotic. Okay, so recently I've been cooking my reindeer sausage in the beef tallow that comes off of the tips of the ribeye steak I like to make. So like I said before, if anybody was paying attention, I cut the fat tip off the ribeye steak. I cut it almost like bacon strips. And then I cook that in the pan first. That's the first thing that hits the pan, is that fat. And I let that fat melt down, cook down. It becomes something similar to bacon. It's like making beef bacon, whatever. And then it creates a lot of the tallow in the pan. And I use that tallow for cooking up. It gives this sausage that texture. Hold on. This worked before. See how it's got that weird little bumpy, it's almost like a dried type texture on it. And you can see my dirty hands. But once that sits for a little bit and it dries, it's almost like eating a beef chip, but it's tender and it's got a lot of flavor. I mean, like, wow. Okay. We're doing that again. We're so doing this again. Holy. Wow. Why is that so good? That's so much fat. And then the yummy spices from the reindeer sausage and the smokiness, and it's like hitting it's like a sensory overload in my mouth. But it's not like I just want to eat it all. It's just, you get one piece in your mouth and it's just so savory. I don't know if any of you are like cheeseheads, where you've experimented with different types of fancy smoked cheddars and smoked types cheeses, and I like a really, really good Swiss cheese. And a really good Swiss cheese should have a specific overtone. It hits several different parts of your palate. It gives you that nasal hit where you like kind of like breathe. You like close your mouth and you breathe out through your nose. It gives you that yummy kind of smell on the backside of your nose as it's coming out. That's kind of what this is doing. Something similar to that. But this is meat. This is meat. Mm. So when it hits my tongue, there's like a sense of almost like a sweet flavor. A sweet, salty, spice type flavor. It's kind of like the same sensation I used to get with chocolate covered pretzels. Just this is better. Yeah, that's sweet and salty. I mean, that's the closest way I can explain it without just being weird. But yeah, almost like a sweet and salty type flavor. Weird. Reindeer, caribou. Yeah, kind of same thing. So I cooked up a lot of bacon, then I took the reindeer sausage, and I cooked the reindeer sausage, you know, cut it in these nice little pieces. And then I tossed them in the hot bacon grease just to see what would happen. And I tried it with a couple, just all by themselves, like 2 or 3 in there. Because I didn't want to ruin the whole piece of reindeer sausage if I didn't like it. But this is a winner. This is really good. This is, yeah, I'm going to do this like all the time. Because I thought reindeer sausage was amazing when it was cooked in beef tallow. But it's even better in bacon grease. And the whole point of the live stream was because, yeah, I was like, oh, let's cook some bacon. I got some bacon. Might as well. Weird. Why do it? Oh, somebody did send me a message. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Keep it up. That's one of my old friends from high school. Ryan, he just sent me a personal message. I was telling him how much weight I lost in the last 90 days. Over 18 pounds. Weight loss in 90 days. Eating beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, even though I wasn't doing the bacon and egg part. I was doing the bacon and butter part. I really wasn't using a whole lot of butter. I've never been into a lot of butter. Can you believe that I like made bacon and my favorite thing is the reindeer sausage cooked in the bacon grease? I'm like, I don't even want the bacon when I have these little medallions here. Okay. Yeah, that is so good. That is better than bacon. And I can say that because I made bacon and I'm not wanting to eat the bacon. I don't have any desire right at the moment to want to mess with this bacon. This is the oddest, weirdest thing I've ever done. Well, no, I've done some pretty weird, odd things. Even on camera. But, oh, there's a little chunk. Yeah, it doesn't even match up to whatever happened to this reindeer sausage. So strange. Man, oh man. Meanwhile, I'm over here making this has never happened before. Look at all this bacon. So normally, like I said before, normally when I cook bacon at all, I don't have this much left over. What a weird thing. So, we're going to sit here and eat this. Because this is way better than the bacon I just cooked. Crazy weird. I'm 50 years old this year. Ghost girl. I feel like I'm 30 years old. Which is weird. Because when I was 49 and I was over 400 and something pounds, I felt like I was 80 years old. I felt like I was going on 90 years old. I thought I was going to be dead soon. I thought my life was pretty much over. When I figured out how to lose some weight. I figured out how to do fasting. And then all of a sudden, this new life of mine kind of took over. You know, the accountability aspect of making videos, doing live streams, talking about my weight loss journey with people. The amount of help I have gotten from people like you, for instance, has been super helpful to keeping me going, to help me learn new things, to try new things, different vitamins, supplements that have been helpful throughout the weight loss journey. But back to my leg cramps. Yeah, I'm getting all bounced around here. But some of you are actually interested in how I figured out how to figure out my leg cramps. Oh, I did talk about that already, didn't I? Yeah, okay. Train of thought out the. These things really screw up your brain. They're so good. But yeah, I figured out how to resolve my carnivore leg cramps, because that's like a thing. I hear a lot of people that have just quit the carnivore diet because their leg cramps were so bad. They were just like, I don't know how to fix it, blah, blah, blah. For one, you don't think you need that much salt. And then I started adding in, and this just happened within the last week. I started adding a lot more salt to my steaks. No more leg cramps while I was sleeping. And it's always while you're sleeping. As soon as you start relaxing and going to bed, things tighten up. Your body's in ketosis, and it's just doing its thing, its natural thing. And yeah, then you start getting these random leg cramps about 2-3 o'clock in the morning. It's really annoying because it makes you wide awake and you don't want to go to sleep. You got to get up and walk around. You go drink some water. Yeah, I was eating bananas. I was doing anything I could to try to get rid of these stinking leg cramps. And you know, sometimes I was making electrolytes, but just adding more salt, you know, to my food fixed it. Just like that. You know, I was taking magnesium glycinate. You know, that's part of the aspect. Magnesium glycinate just helps relax the muscles. But more salt, more salt, more salt. Who'd have thought? Man. So these reindeer sausages, I think they're like, what, 300 calories a piece? Maybe more. I don't have the package, or else I'd look. Your mom is 62. I hope she's doing well. I'm gonna hook me up with her. Yeah. You must have a hot mom. But yeah, I am definitely married. Happily, definitely married. That's a great thing. That's a hard thing to come by these days, because marriage has been one of those things that people have been doing. And it seems like for the last 20 years, they just treat it like boyfriend-girlfriend type situations. It's like, no. The key to being married is not running away from your problems. The key to being married is being with that person, and that's the person you're going to be with. Don't get married if it's just one of those willy-nilly decisions you're making. It's just bad. You know, when I married my ex-wife, before I married her, hey, we're not getting divorced. Divorce isn't an option on my plate. And it wasn't until she figured out a way to force me to do it. And that was the only reason I was fine being married and not together. You know, she wants to run around and do her own thing, but she wanted to be married to some other guy quickly. And I was like, well, that's toxic all by itself, but hey, whatever. You do what you do, you. And she did. She got married quickly. I hope they're doing good, whatever they're doing. Don't worry about that. But yeah, it's like my wife now. I told her, so we're not separating, we're not divorcing, we're not doing none of that stuff. You know, we have an argument and go to the other room. You know, don't talk for a couple days. The longest she hasn't talked to me, I think, is 72 hours. And then we smooth things over. Let's see, I started using coconut oil to cook with. Recently, lots of MCT in it. No flavor, really. And nothing sticks to the pan. Scrambled eggs get super fluffy. Yeah, I experimented with coconut oil at the very beginning. Really don't have a problem with coconut oil. But I didn't really care too much for the coconutty flavor, and the oil itself, I didn't like it in my mouth. I don't like that at all. But I was having problems with constipation at first because I was eating meats that were too lean. It's a common beginner problem when you start the carnivore diet is you just don't believe that you require that much fat. I eat a ton of fat now, but it took a while, just like with the salt. I eat a ton of salt now, but it took a while for me to wrap my brain around, like, okay, I need increase the fat, like double or maybe triple the amount. Same thing goes for the salt. And I need to try to stay, pretty much in this kind of realm of type of foods, steak, burgers, sausage that works for you. There's all kinds of sausages out there that do not work for me. I tried a bunch of different random ones and no, not a good idea. There was a lot of them that just did not work at all. And they were actually kind of gross because they were just sausage all by itself is considered overly processed. Same thing with bacon. So, but you don't know really what goes into the process of curing the bacon or what goes into the sausage itself. So you just have to kind of like use your better judgment, have a good idea. So I tried this long enough, many times. I've taken it out of my diet. I put it back in my diet. It works. I still continue to lose weight. It gives me that variable of a lot of extra flavors and spices that just don't seem to bug me as much. Yeah, it is what it is. Well, a lot of things happened between me and my ex-wife because we weren't meant to be together. It was pretty obvious. We were both alpha male types. So I was trying to control her. She was trying to control me. We drank heavily. There was a lot of other variables in our relationship that were not healthy type things in a marriage. Stuff that I will never partake in again in the rest of my life or in the marriage with my wife now. No, there's a lot of stuff that, a lot of the partying, a lot of the just nonsense. And yeah, I just won't do that anymore. So yeah, I think that's what's helping out this marriage right here is we don't have that back and forth, power grab, control for power. One person isn't like trying to control everything all the time. We try to do it together. So I'm just happy that this is working. Yeah, we're almost done. These are delicious. These are a meal all by themselves. So for a while, when I came home and I was starting the carnivore diet or a keto type diet, I was eating 3 of these Alaska reindeer sausages. And the nice thing about them is they're super easy to prepare. You can put them in the microwave. Just put them in there for like a minute or two. That's about it. And you can eat them just like that. You can put them on the grill. Only takes a few minutes to cook them on the grill. At least cooked really fast in the bacon grease. They also cook really fast in a pan with a little bit of beef tallow or all by themselves. Now, I used to buy Alaska reindeer sausage from, there was a person that used to work downtown. They had a grill, and they'd cook them up on the grill. They'd put a bunch of onions on them, caramelized onions, whatever toppings they had. That was back when I was eating carbs, and I used to get it in a bun. I don't eat a lot of carbs like that anymore. I mean, I could do that if I was only eating one. But man, I'd like to eat like 3 of these. There's no way I could have 3 buns in a row. No way. And I wouldn't spend the price on getting one of those in town without the bun, because it's just, I can't have the onions and the peppers or whatnot. It's all about the experience when it comes to stuff like that. you know, what type of experience you're having when you're eating it, you know, where you're having it. Yeah, Gary's been doing really good on the carnivore diet. I mean, me and Gary have been kind of like, not in competition, but we've been really close throughout this weight loss journey. Gary comes back and, you know, tells me what he's lost, and I did, you know, I make videos, so he knows what I lost. But, you know, my point is we've been within what, 15, 20 pounds, I think, this entire journey. You know, one side or the other of each other. But yeah, so Gary lost 115 pounds in last year. Yeah, right on. Yeah, you're almost up on a year now. If you started last December. So I started losing weight about a year and a half ago, almost exactly. Like I started the weight loss journey in May of 2023, and in September of 2023, I think, is when I started the carnivore diet. And yeah, just going strong and making all the same mistakes everybody makes. Not trying to be like a superstar, like, I just eat meats and fats all the time. I'm Mr. Perfect. That's not me. I am not that guy. I'm realistic. Sometimes I get into crap food. But I force feed myself a lot of meat before or after the fact. And it helps keep me normal. Whatever normal is. Hey there, Lisa, blessed life. Did you see my brother? Nope, haven't seen your brother. Yeah, OMAD really, really works. So, okay, I focus on OMAD 5 days a week. And this is kind of the principle I've used for most of my weight loss journey. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, whatever your work schedule is. If you have a straight 5-day work schedule, it just makes it so much easier. And then on the weekends, relax yourself a little bit. Maybe eat more than OMAD. Even if it's not carnivore, who cares? It's the weekend. Kind of like an anniversary or a holiday or something special. Birthday parties, no, I don't count birthday parties as a special event. You know, something like Thanksgiving, that's a special event. You know, like, okay, eat something off the rails on Thanksgiving. That's simply one day. Now, if you eat way too much on Thanksgiving, my next plan, if I were to eat way too much, like way, way too much, the following days would be fasting days for me. They wouldn't be OMAD days. They would be 24-hour, I'm sorry, longer than 24-hour, 72-hour, 36-hour type fasting days. Until I felt like my gut would reset itself enough to actually do an OMAD type day. All done. Yeah. What are you eating? Is it non-veg? I don't eat a lot of vegetables anymore. There's only certain vegetables I'll eat. I will eat some fruits once in a while. That's for Ashwin Sharma. I need to cut down on the food noise. I eat when I'm anxious or sad. I'm an emotional eater. Okay. Oscar Nod Wannabe. So my advice to you would be to snack on a lot of meat. Come up with different little strategies of your own to make yummy, tasty meat snacks in that case. Stuff without sugar. If you can try to limit the cheese a little bit, that'd be great. But I'm also an anxious eater as well. If I'm happy, sad, glad, depressed, I'm looking for a reason to eat, especially if I'm sitting around the house. So weekends like this, I create a YouTube video. I start like filming at like 4:30 in the morning. Then I edit my video, and then all of a sudden I'm done. I'm doing a live stream now after I did a little bit of shopping around town. But you see what I'm doing here is talking about my stuff. You don't have to do this live stream type stuff, but my point is that while I'm doing this, I'm keeping myself occupied with the community, which is you guys. That helps keep me on task. Also, I'm creating foods that are carnivore related, and I know these foods are going to help keep me in ketosis, or at minimal, I'm going to maintain whatever weight loss I had. Why does this thing do that? It says I'm live again. But anyways, I start on a good roll of an actual educational type talking point, and then the live stream cuts out for whatever reason. But since I'm like surrounded by the community, I'm cooking up stuff that's carnivore related. I'm staying out of that pantry that's right over there. I'm staying out of that refrigerator that's right over there. So that means the majority of my hours now are consumed where I would normally be consuming stuff that I shouldn't be getting into. You see where I'm going there? That helps me with my accountability aspect on the carnivore diet. These live streams help save me, and hopefully they help other people in the process of what I'm doing here, because that's all I'm trying to do, is hopefully help spread awareness that, hey, you can lose weight with little to no exercise. That should sell itself, right? Well, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because I remember when I was all screwed up, fat and obese, and if somebody walked up to me and said, hey man, I know how to lose weight with little to no exercise, I'd just start laughing at them. I'm like, you're so full of crap. Like, but it's true. Yeah, you can lose all of this weight, all 170 pounds with little to no exercise. I just go to work, I come home, I eat food. Not always the best food, but it's the type of food that I eat in majority, which is meats and fats, steaks, whatnot, that keep me in the right place. So even if I eat a little bit of crap food, it's only going to be a little bit of crap food. It's not going to be the majority crap food that got me up to 400 pounds in the first place. It's only going to be a little bit. So a little bit of noise isn't nearly as bad as a whole lot of freaking stereo going on in your face, and you got a amplifier behind you with a kicker and just going bumpity 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 bump all the way down the freaking street. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody likes that noise either. So just remember that. People don't like the noise that the previous diets, the previous way of eating are doing to you, because it makes you a hormonal mess. I mean, this is also part of why you're so anxious, is you're a hormonal mess at times. I was absolute hormonal mess. I was a loose cannon. I was afraid to do live streams because I didn't know what I was going to say from time to time. I couldn't keep a collected thought for more than 30 seconds, and then I'd be off in a different direction. Do you take a daily multivitamin? I just made a video about what I'm taking for everyday type stuff. That will be uploaded on Wednesday. I mean, I could do it now, but since I just released my weekend's video and I'm doing this live stream, everything kind of conflicts in the wonderful world of algorithm type stuff. So yeah, that video will be up Wednesday at 1:15 p.m. Alaska time, whatever that is in your neck of the woods. I'm not sure. Let's see. Very true. I do much better if I am more involved in the community. Lisa, you've been there. You've been doing it. I mean, I know you know how to do it. You can do this totally, Lisa. I mean, I have so much faith in you that you can do that. You're a good person. I can tell. Your heart's in the right place. You just need to stop listening to that inner argument that we all have when we get started. Because it's just like, there's so much stuff going on. There's so much yummy stuff going on. And there's, and we make excuses. I talked about this early on in my weight loss journey. We make so many excuses to eat the wrong foods. In one person's case, it's their wife doing this or that, or it's their husband doing this or that, or my kids need to eat. Okay, make your kids something healthy. Your kids need to eat. Okay, you know what's healthy for yourself, but you don't want to feed what's healthy for yourself to your children. This debate has came up in my household as well, because I don't force my kids to eat what I'm eating, is my point. So I make very specific foods directly towards what I'm doing, which is, carnivore related foods. So every night I'm eating a ribeye steak, some reindeer sausage, maybe some bacon, yada, yada, yada. It's all on the meat-based plane. I have no problem cooking for my kids what I eat. It's just as long as my kids will actually eat what I cook is the thing. Now, if they're not in the mindset of get healthy, let's eat eggs and steak, then I'm not cooking them eggs and steak just to have eggs and steak sit around. I'm making food for myself that I'm going to eat. I do often cook 2 steaks at a time, so that's 2 ribeye steaks. And then I'll make enough eggs for myself, which is typically anywhere from 3 to 6 eggs when I eat that ribeye steak. And then I eat reindeer sausage. They don't like the reindeer sausage, so I'm not cooking them reindeer sausage, even though it's healthy options. See kind of how we go there? I do eat pork from time to time. This is a very rare occasion where I actually made some bacon, and I actually have some left over. And the reason I have some left over is because I just did a random experiment with reindeer sausage cooked in bacon grease, and it was amazing. I just ate 2 full reindeer sausages. I don't have enough time or energy to want the bacon now. The reindeer sausage cooked in the bacon grease was so much better than the bacon. There's going to be a lot of bacon left over when the family comes home. They're going to love this. Yeah. But I do eat pork. I don't like pork chops. I'm going to try out some pork belly real soon. Rastafari. No work. No work with meat. Let's see. And you call that healthy food. It is healthy food. It is. And it's been working. You know, I got an entire year of this under my belt, and it's been working. I mean, if you looked at me a year ago compared to now, you would say I look a whole lot healthier now. So here's your thing there, Bunny Dreaddogs. I used to be a vegan. Okay, I did the vegan lifestyle. I did a vegetarian lifestyle. I got extremely sick, like a lot of vegetarians and a lot of vegans. A lot of vegans before me have fallen, and they have had to come to a meat-based type diet or a very meat-heavy type diet in order to get their nutrition. Now, I was getting all kinds of upper digestive issues. I was getting kidney stones. I was having problems with my eyesight. I was having problems everywhere. On top of that, nasty, nasty flatulence, body odor, sometimes diarrhea, sometimes constipation. And that was all contributed to eating your wonderful vegetables, which are just so fantastic for everybody, and everybody should eat vegetables and not eat the flesh. Okay, I get moral values and why certain people don't want to eat animal products. I'm not against that. You know, I lived that type of lifestyle for a little while, and I was adamant on not wanting to eat animal products, blah, 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 blah. Had something to do with a woman, by the way. So yeah, I was basically following the bunny tail down the trail. That was my thing for a period of time. But after I got so sick and I couldn't do it anymore, my doctors were telling me, hey, you need to eat meat, you need to eat eggs, you need to eat this, you need to have fish oil, you need to have fish, you need to add more seafood into your diet. After all that nonsense, you know, of course the relationship kind of fell through. But then I got depressed like most people do during a breakup, and I started eating a lot of crap, and then I started getting fat, and then I started thinking I was eating healthy, but I wasn't eating healthy because I was like eating salads covered in crap. And yeah, it was totally wrong. Everything about it was wrong. But yeah, so it turns out that, you know, since I'm Alaskan Native, that's what my heritage is, and that's what my relatives have been doing all of their life for hundreds of years, is meats and fats. We eat some low-lying berries. We do eat some fruits. That's basically all I am doing here. And I just share the experience there. No fish, no beef, no dead nothing. Yeah, that's a horrible way to live. I mean, I respect your way of life, but at some point you're going to have a problem. I don't know any 100-and-something-year-old vegans. Not one. Not one. I do know 100-and-some-year-old carnivores. Actually, I know several. I know several that are in their 80s, 90s, thriving and doing fantastic with life. They even smoke cigarettes. They're doing fantastic with life. They look great. They look metabolically stable. They look well hydrated. Their skin is super clear. They don't have that blotchy old person look. And that's another thing. I don't have any adult acne anymore. When I was eating vegetables, I did. I had a lot of acne on my face. A lot of times it was right up here. I had a lot around my lips. I mean, they almost look like cold sores. I've never had a cold sore in my life, but I had a lot of pimples that were forming around here. And then I get skin tags all over my neck, gone, because I'm eating meat. Right? That's just as simple as that. God bless you, man, says Gordana. Rafa. I'm going to botch that last name up. I'm not going to try to say that one. It's going to sound like a swear word if I try to say that one. Gordana says, God bless you, man. Thank you, Gordana. I appreciate you. God bless you as well. I hope you're having a happy Sunday wherever you're at. If you're even in the same time zone and it's not Sunday there anymore, I hope your Sunday was awesome. But yeah, Bunny Dreadlocks isn't complaining about me vaping. They're just worried about me eating the flesh. That's okay. I'm okay with people being not offended by me eating the flesh. I'm not sure why they'll be watching. That's a choice. You know, it's you can do that, and I'll be gone out of your life. You'll never see me again unless I'm just somehow because YouTube has a weird way of recommending me vegan topics. They haven't done it in a while because I use it to my advantage. Because I want to, a lot of these guys, these vegans, I want to know what they're doing that's different than when I was doing it. Because I'm all about health all the way around. I don't care if you're a vegan. You know, if I know a little tip or trick to help a vegan, you know, try to make their life a little better. And it doesn't mean I have to persuade them to eat meats and fats. But there are some things in the vegan lifestyle that are just tricky. No different than with the carnivore lifestyle. There's some things there that are just tricky. And a lot of it has to do with mindset and education. Most of it is education. But we share the same similar values when it comes to overly processed foods and seed oils. You know, we try to avoid those. I mean, you can like literally eat Oreos on a vegan diet. It's overly processed. It's not a good idea, but I don't know a single vegan that would say that that's a good idea. At least none of the vegans I ever hung out with. They're like, oh no, that's too much sugar. That's the wrong type of sugar. That's too many ingredients. Same thing. That's what made it a whole lot easier to transition into a carnivore diet, is because I already had that vegan experience of, you know, rinse and repeat, remove certain things. And then if you're going to add stuff back in, you'd add things back in slowly. But it was like you totally removed everything for a while. You just ate vegetables. And then you decided, like, oh, okay, I'm going to snack on some of this or that. And then see how that works with me. If it doesn't work, I'll retreat, just like with the carnivore diet. This is how we do it. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Do that for 30 days. Start adding in nonsense, whatever the nonsense is. Sometimes it's something as simple as garlic salt or garlic powder, maybe some black pepper, adding in coffee again. Like I took out all the vegetables for a while. I started adding in certain vegetables. There's some vegetables that don't work for me. Potatoes is one of them. Potatoes doesn't work for me. Sweet potatoes doesn't work for me. Trying to add in kale or spinach, never going to happen again because of the oxalates. Almonds, not going to happen ever again. Cashews, very delicious. Yeah, too many oxalates, and they're also a subspecies of poison ivy. I mean, I'm not sure why we do that to ourselves. But peanuts, maybe. On occasion, maybe some peanuts, maybe some peanut butter. The more natural, the better. Just take out the sweeteners. High fructose corn syrup is a dead zero in my book. If it has high fructose anything, run away. I don't care if it's a sauce. A sauce that has high fructose corn syrup, those are cheap people that do not want to sell you anything that's good for you. They're just looking to make money off of you. So don't buy anything with high fructose corn syrup. Got large kidney stones when vegetarian. Yeah, my problem was super bad kidney stones. This is why I'm still hooked on the apple cider vinegar, and I do take some lemon juice when I make my electrolytes. It's because it helped alleviate a lot of the kidney stones. I don't know if it actually broke them up, but my point is that it made my whole experience with kidney stones a lot better. And since I went carnivore, I haven't had one single kidney stone because there's nothing here to create a kidney stone. The only thing that can create a kidney stone is stuff outside of a meat-based diet, vegetables. But now, so people have been talking a lot about leg cramps and pickle juice. So, in my opinion, with pickle juice, because pickle juice can be made a bunch of different ways. The most common factor in pickle juice that makes pickle juice work is the amount of sodium.
the amount of salt in the pickle juice. Nothing to do with the vinegar, nothing to do with the actual cucumber itself, nothing to do with the dill or the sugars or anything like that. It's the salt. It's got a high concentration of salt, and that's what helps with kidney stones. I'm sorry, leg cramps. Yeah, we were talking about kidney stones. I mean, you got me stuck on that one. Now, dill pickles, I found out that dill pickles early on in my keto type diet, when I was doing ketosis type stuff, pickles were one of my, dill pickles specifically, one of my go-to snacks. Because they keep you in ketosis. They give you that sweet sensation like you just ate something unhealthy. Give you that little bit of sour, that saltiness. It was a good keto safe type option. I cannot do, since I've been doing all this lately, I can't do dill pickles anymore. I tried one. Like I said, you remove and you add back in. The flavor is too strong for me now. I can't do a dill pickle anymore. I could do a pickled egg, but a dill pickle is too strong for me. The crunch. Yeah, the crunch, that's a thing too. I understand that. But yeah, apple cider vinegar, it does work really well. 12 millimeters. Yeah, centimeters is too big. It's definitely 12 millimeters. 12 millimeters is still huge. I mean, that's way bigger than I'd ever want a kidney stone to be. You'd have to get that, like, blasted. Skateboard towel. That's an interesting handle you got there. Skateboard towel. I used to be a skateboarder, so I find that a very interesting handle. How are you? I am doing well. I'm doing well. It's been snowing up here. It's been kind of chilly up here in Alaska. We're doing good. We're surviving. We made a lot of bacon. I'm full now because I just ate like 2 full reindeer sausages cooked in bacon grease. What a great idea that was. I need to put this away. I'm so full I don't even really want to snack on this, which is so strange for bacon and me. Weird. Smells good. Let's see, passing that through the small hole where you urinate does not sound pleasant. Thankfully, I have never had snow. Little tiniest, like the 1 millimeter ones. I mean, it's just like glass coming out. And then sometimes you bleed. You know, if it creates a little tear, you bleed and it causes a lot of pain for like 3 or 4 days. That's if you pass it. If you're lucky enough to pass it completely. I've had them pass somewhat seamlessly at first, and you can kind of hear them hit the water in the toilet. Good luck finding that little sucker, but my point is you can like hear it fall, but then you start feeling the pain later. Yeah, anything in your urethra that creates a little tear, it hurts. It hurts. And then you're worried about urinary tract infections, and whoa. Kidney stones are horrible for anybody. I don't wish those things on people I don't like. I mean, it's not something to mess around with. How many hours of daylight do you have right now? Not many. Definitely less than 8. I think we got less than 8 hours of daylight right now. I get up and go to work in the dark. I go home in the dark. That's like a 9 or a 10 hour day. I'm still coming home in the dark. It's just, yeah, about 8 hours of daylight right now, and it's slowing down. Let's see. So yeah, I made up about what, pound, 2 pounds, however many pounds of bacon come in a package. Made up a bunch of bacon. I started snacking on it, and then I had reindeer sausage idea. That was way better than the bacon idea. Now I don't even want to eat the bacon. I'm just sitting here sniffing bacon because, yeah, whatever. Holy crap, I've been doing this for 2 hours. I'm okay with that. But I just uploaded a video. I should probably go check and see. I try to respond to comments on my videos hastily. I try to respond to them like my life depends on it within, you know, as quick as possible. Let's see how many. All right, read that. Let me scroll up here a little bit.
Oh, sonar blasting, 2 surgeries. Oof. Okay, we're all caught up on comments. All right, I need to go take care of the remainder of the bacon grease that I have over there. Yeah, if you guys are taking care of bacon grease, I like to do it over a cast iron skillet. I put my mason jar like right in the middle of the cast iron skillet, and we can probably just do that right now. Okay. So this is like how I take care of bacon grease. And let's see what we got here. Got that one there. Yeah, the skillet's dirty. That's okay. This will still work. I just take the cast iron skillet. Ah, what in the world? See, this is my problem. Yeah, not thinking. I was gonna use this one. Yeah, I will use that one. Okay, these are like my bacon grease jars. We have another one back here. I have some extra bacon grease in the fridge. But my point is, you take the jar, you set it in the middle of the pan, take your bacon grease, dump it in the jar. That way when it runs over, it's going onto a cast iron skillet. It seasons it anyways. You heat the cast iron skillet, and then you can clean the pan real fast. It all works out. It's all pretty seamless. It's not hard. It's not difficult. Watch! The only difficult part is trying to get you guys the right camera angle to see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so yeah. This is pretty well cooled off bacon grease. But I don't care about the little chunks. Boom. Just like that. And then if it's like super, super hot, you can just let it sit in the cast iron skillet for as long as you want, or until you feel safe touching it, or you can use an oven mitt or whatever if you need to move it. But what I like to do after this is put it in the fridge for a little while. Now that it's wintertime in Alaska, you can like set it outside. And we can stop right there. Boom, done. Now I can wipe that pan out with a paper towel or whatnot. And shortly after that, I can let the dog lick the remainder out. But yeah, super simple. It's just okay to touch. It is. But you see, if I spilled any, it'd be in a cast iron skillet. And I could easily wipe it out with a paper towel. Clean it up like a regular cast iron skillet. But that's the easiest way to handle bacon grease, in my opinion. And you save it. Don't get rid of it. That stuff's like money. I mean, I know people that would actually like, oh, you got bacon grease? And they'd want your extra bacon grease because they use it to cook. They use it to cook. They use their bacon grease to cook. And it's good for you. It's healthy. It's natural fat, natural animal fat. We get our natural animal fat from bacon. We get our natural animal fats from beef fat. Cook it down. Make the tallow. Use that for cooking. Eggs won't stick if you don't have these like amazing pans like I got, where you can just like put eggs in a pan and they just slide around. They work. But yeah. But yeah, if you don't have a cast iron skillet, use a regular pan. I mean, what little bit of dribble you get is not going on your stove or your countertop, and it's just super easy to clean that way. You just paper towel that sucker in the garbage can. They're super done. Fast. Not a mess. Not a problem. Because most people, I see them do the darndest things with bacon grease after they're done. And it's just like, man, you just made an entire freaking disaster. And you didn't need to. You could have like consolidated it. Now, another trick I like to do with bacon grease is I'll take a bowl. In the wintertime, this works great. This is for grease or any type of fats that I'm not going to reuse. Is I'll just take a bowl. And I'll line it with tinfoil. And then I'll just dump the grease in the bowl. The hot grease goes in the bowl. And then I'll take it outside, or I'll put it in the fridge for a little while. And then it congeals nice and hard. Just pull the excess aluminum foil up, make a little ornament looking thing in the trash can. Done. There you go. Goes back to Mother Nature. That's another super fast, easy hack for animal fats that you're not going to use again. And it's better than keeping it underneath the kitchen sink, because it's just going to get gross and moldy under there. Now, if you are going to use, if you're a bear hunter, that's a great way to save your fat, is let it get crappy underneath your sink. I mean, this is animal fat you're not going to reuse again. So like a lot of people have a grease jar where we used to use coffee cans all the time. But if you're going out hunting, or you're trying to make suet for bird feed and stuff like that, because the birds go nuts over animal fat. Because yeah, they're like somewhat carnivore too. That's what the birds do. They're kind of scavengers. So if you take like animal fat and you mix in bird seed with fat, you can make these nice little fat cubes. And with bird seed mixed in, and your birds are just gonna come and pick at it, and they're gonna be super duper healthy, happy birds, because they got a little bit of everything right there. It's good stuff. Mutton fat is the best. Where do you get mutton fat? I mean, I'm trying to think of the term, mutton. This is where the community kind of has to like lend me a hand here. Mutton fat. Where does that come from? Somebody, please. Sheep is mutton. Thank you. Okay, I knew. I just didn't know the animal. I was thinking lamb, but I didn't want to just start spitting out random bits because I wasn't sure. You know, I got no problem not knowing stuff. I love being educated on new things. Yeah, okay, mutton is sheep. I'll try to remember that. I should have known that by now. I've been pretty well versed in a lot of this stuff now. I had no idea about steak. I didn't know how to cook a steak. I barely knew how to cook a burger right. Yeah, bacon, I had a hard time with bacon. I knew how to cook eggs. I've been cooking eggs since I was a little kid. Not so much the bacon. You know, that's like a frat house sorority type thing. You know, when they're doing the hazing, it's, you know, you take your newbies into the frat house and you make them cook bacon naked. That's a funny one. But all right, we're not going to talk much about that. That's ridiculous. Okay, they call mutton lamb to make it sound more appealing. Oh, okay. Android Game Network. You look spankable. Thank you. I appreciate that about you. Android Game Network. Huh. Do you have a YouTube channel, by the way? Oh, too late. You're gone. Lisa said bye. I was going to check out their YouTube channel if they had one, because, yeah, two can play at that game. But any interaction is actually a decent interaction, even if it's a negative one. I don't care to keep negative stuff hanging around. I thank you there, Lisa. That's fine. But yeah, I totally know how to play that game. If they got a YouTube channel, I can, yeah, I got a couple spare accounts laying around, you know what I mean? Because anybody here on the internet that's doing anything YouTube related or stuff like that, if you don't have a spare account or several spare accounts, because if something were to happen to this channel, boom, I already got the next one ready to go. I mean, it's just like that fast. I can just start making content again. Not a problem. My wife ran into that problem with Facebook. They deleted one of her monetized accounts, which pissed us off to no end. I won't post anything on Facebook that I want to get monetized. I just don't like the whole platform. I don't like the process. I use the platform. It's a great way to reach other people that I want to talk to, which is great, but I don't believe it's a great way of making money. I make more money with the YouTube content than I ever would with Facebook. Facebook is just a bunch of loud, staticky noise that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Some people made it work for them. Bravo. Not this guy. For one, I don't like reels. I like longer form content. I like doing live streams. Short form videos, I really don't know how people do them so well. I've tried. I don't do well with short form videos. I don't have the time to spend several hours creating something that's 60 seconds long or less than 60 seconds. So I just don't do it. doesn't make a whole. My wife's amazing. Women in general that make short form videos usually make some really amazing short form videos. It's just easy, digestible entertainment. That's what they are. Awesome stuff. All right, guys, 2 hours and 19 minutes. It's one of my longer streams, and I want to thank everybody that's been here for this long. The amount of people that have been watching has grown. 38 likes on the stream so far. I appreciate all of you. Yeah, if you're interested in learning more or a little bit more about how I'm losing weight with little to no exercise, I have an entire playlist on my channel called Losing Weight in Alaska. I try to update my videos once a week just to let people know what's going on, what's on my mind, what have I been doing to lose weight with little to no exercise. I mean, it's not rocket science. I'm an average truck driver. I live in a trailer home. I got lots of cats, dogs, not necessarily the cleanest household. I'm just a real average Alaskan person that's just losing weight with next to no effort. And yeah, I want to share that with all of you. And I hope some of it clicks. Okay. Happy Sunday, guys. I got to get stuff cleaned up around here. Figure out something for dinner tonight. And enjoy the rest of my afternoon. It's 3 o'clock here in Alaska. And yeah, I'm going to actually enjoy some of my afternoon for a change, which is weird. I don't get to do that very often. So, yay. Let's do this. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you later. And I'll see you next weekend or who knows when. Sometime soon. God bless. Hey, get out of my bacon.